right, babies, it's that time again. Oh, yeah. Well, I hope all is well with you and your world. Yes, yes. My lower back has been really painfully situated lately, so I've been resting and not going to the gym. So, yeah. I'm giving it a shot today. I was gonna do biceps, but when I'm doing some barbell exercises, it puts too much pressure on the lower back, so I'm not going to risk further injury on that. So I'm just going to do some cardio and get myself back on track on my 6 days of strict diet. I reward myself on day 7 with what I call feasting. People, a lot of people don't understand that. Yes, they'll do cheat days, but not like me. I just go total oblivion on day 7. Works because your body gets sort of triggered into weight loss as soon as you stop ingesting crazy amounts of calories. And yeah, so try it. I'll keep you posted on my progress. But yeah, it's all about measurement. I never would have thought of that because I often associate joy and life with not thinking about measurement. You know, just being free and flowing, loving and giving, and just leaving it at that. Like measuring just sounds, like it's interrupting the joy and the flow. But once again, things are not as they frequently appear. And so that's a motivation to me, because it as soon as I start thinking in those terms, I feel like a sense of help from the Spirit of God, because God is like that. The reason we feel support when we start allowing God's mind to operate in us, then it's kind of obvious that we're going to feel the release and the power of that alignment, instead of trying to be good, trying to do the right thing, etc. So I want to encourage you to do those two things. Now again, we keep coming back to paradox. If you don't know what paradox is, it's when two things are apparent contradictions, but the deeper you consider them, you find there's a fluid line that doesn't separate them, but joins them and creates a whole new entity, a whole new whole, a whole new way of being. And I found that God is forever in paradoxical mode. So in this case, we're talking about measuring things, like measuring your growth, things that are observable about you being more loving, more kind, more patient, more thankful, more courageous, more creative. You measure those things by paying attention and observing yourself growing in those areas. And so you kind of mark that to yourself of like, that's growth. I do the same thing in my weightlifting. Every little thing I do, I record so that I can see that I'm growing. There's evidence. And then if I'm not seeing growth, then I have to ask, okay, what piece is not in place? And you do the same thing with your behavioral, emotional, and spiritual growth. If you see things aren't moving like they usually do, then good time to check what's not in place. And so the paradox of that is, it sounds exacting, it sounds like it's counterintuitive to living a life of flow and peace and joy and just moving with the joy of life. But instead, it's actually essential for that flow. Oh yeah, baby. In fact, that's part of the reason why I put this video on just now, was because I wasn't feeling very much in the flow, and I wasn't really feeling like, oh good, let's add one more minute to my cardio today and do 44 minutes instead of 43. I was just not feeling the flow, so I was like, okay, now I gotta meet this head on. I have to do what I know always works for me, and what always works for me is doing things like this, putting myself on the spot, almost like presenting myself to God on the surgical table and say, okay, I'm ready, here we go, let's get it moving, baby. And sure enough, God always does. And then just that presence just makes me feel like so encouraged to do exactly what I'm doing, and to have the comfort of knowing I've made a good choice, because I'm measuring that I'm feeling much better immediately. And so therefore, I can chalk it up as a practice of mine that is good to continue to implement. And on top of all, what makes all this so lovely is just the relationship and presence of God, and understanding that that was the life of Jesus, that he did not allow anything to get in the way of his relationship with God. And if you watched him, you observed his behavior, he did that by serving others. And so that's what I'm trying to do here, is help you do what you need to do so you don't get stuck in these patterns of behavior and patterns of mind that are separate from God, so you can be and feel like not only that you can do the things that Jesus did, but that you're actually allowing Jesus by his Spirit to do them in you now. Oh yeah.